all your dreams, everything that you guys wish that you can go out and get, you know, it all starts in one place. The first thing is you gotta figure out what it is you really want. That's the thing, because if you don't know what you really want, then there is no way that you can go out and get it. A lot of people think that they know what they want. And then when they get what they think they want, it's not what they thought they wanted, eh? Most people are going to go out there and keep searching and searching and searching, trying to find something that they think they want, and they're really never even going to find it because they never sat down to take the time to figure out, this is what I want. How do you figure out what you want? Now, that's a good question. There's a lot of ways. You can go out and take a piece of paper, and then you can mark down a whole bunch of things you think you want. But, you know, then you might realize that some of the things are useless because it all winds up being a big list of materialistic things, you know? Oh, I want a guitar, I want an amp, I want a new computer, I want a Mac. Not everybody's in the position to go out and get something like that. You have to ask yourself, why do you want that? Do you just want it because you just want to have it, or is it going to help you get somewhere? Is it going to help you get to the next goal? If it's going to help you get to the next goal because you're actually going to use this, you know, then you're doing the right thing, and the dude upstairs will find a way to let you have it so it takes you to the next level. My father died at a very young age, so you know, I just turned 15 and my father passed away. My mother was a typical housewife from Europe, you know, and she sat there and always took care of the kids. And so she was left without a husband, and I had two other younger sisters, and one was pretty young at the time, and it was a total shock to her. I always remember I was playing in a band at that time, you know, this three-piece band, and I was playing bass. And I remember she was in the mirror, like putting on her makeup and stuff before she went out one day, and I said, I looked at her and I said, look, there's this amazing, incredible 8-string bass that I saw in the back of a Guitar Player magazine. I saw a little picture this big, you know, and I said, I gotta have this thing, because if I have this thing, it'll make me the most different bass player in the world. This was a very expensive instrument. I think it was like $2,000. And from when I was 15, I gotta tell you, if you're paying $2,000 for a bass, that is some crazy, crazy stuff. I remember her looking at me and saying, well, look, we just can't afford this, you know? I thought about it for a minute, and I was all pissed off and shit. And then I looked at her and I said, well, you could pay for my sister to go to school, or if it had something to do with, you know, education. And I said, you know, you would find a way to make that happen. I said, but for me, I mean, this is my life. It would make me the most different bass player in the whole world, and it would give me a chance to be noticed. Therefore, I can go higher. You see, she didn't really wind up saying anything else about it. And make a long story short, the next day when I wake up, there is a check for the $2,000 sitting on my dresser. I remember feeling really bad, and then saying that no, I didn't have to have it, and she insisted I went in and got it, and I got it. I remember for years people were coming up to me saying, damn, what is that? How do you get that sound? And it's an 8-string bass. Now I'm sounding like two guys. I'm playing chords on this thing. It's sounding huge. I'm creating different stuff because the guitar was inspiring me to create something different. And, you know, it kind of took me to that place, you know. My father worked like almost 7 days a week. I'm very fortunate that my parents brought me up to believe that I can become anything that I want to become. All I gotta do is go out there and work for it and try real hard, and it'll come to me. You gotta believe in yourself and figure out what it is you really want in order to get to that next level. You know, it might be like I said, a computer, a piece of gear, you know, an office, something to give you a kind of a profile, something that makes you stand out among yourself and your personal dreams. And this will, without a shadow of a doubt, let people identify themselves with you, you know? You gotta paint the perfect picture in order for people to understand, because otherwise you gotta take them by the hand. You say, this is what this is what it looks like, this is what it's gonna sound like. Otherwise, your average person doesn't understand, and everybody's open to their own interpretation of what, you know, that thing might mean. There's the guilt factor. The guilt factor comes out. You say, why am I going to go out and I'm going to spend a bunch of money on stuff? What is it going to be good for, you know? Well, you guys go out and spend money on drinks, on trying to pick up chicks or guys, or you know, whatever it is you're spending to do that, and go ahead and think about it, what that tallies up to at the end of the year, and then tell yourself that you could be building part of your future in order so you can constantly have an income and do exactly what you want, because that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be able to have a job that makes you live and your family live, but you love doing this job. Otherwise, your job is consisted of doing something you don't like, and then you come home and then you gotta party it up by going out, drinking, doing whatever it is you guys like to do, and it's a routine kind of a life. You wait for your couple of vacations a year, or one vacation a year, or whatever, and this is not the future. This is not where technology has taken us. This is not like total old school. It's old school mixed with new school, and we have no choice but to keep up to the evolution of what is happening. I knew that the music business was going to crash as we know it. I got to tell you, I went into a pretty massive depression. And I hit a certain point where I said, oh, I got to make a move. I got to really figure out what it is I want, you know? Getting up on a stage and playing, having a bunch of people clapping, or your friends telling you you're great, or other people saying, yeah, you guys are hot. That means nothing at the end of your life. I had a bit of money saved up, and I took the last of my money, all of it, you know, and I went out and I spent every penny I had on getting my first real Mac, an amazing video camera, and an amazing photo camera. I remember thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do, you know? I'm gonna have this computer, I'm gonna have this screen, I'm gonna have this stuff, and it's gonna look amazing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start a business, and I know people in the music business, and I can do their videos, and you know, I can do their promotion, take their pictures and tell them what to look like. And I remember feeling totally guilty, saying to myself, wow man, what a huge mistake I've made. You know, I've just like blew like, you know, $35,000 on a bunch of stuff. I gotta tell you that it totally paid off, because it gave me freedom. Buying that Mac and buying all that gear let me sit in my studio and be totally creative and not have to pay all that money that everybody was always asking for. Damn, I know what I want. I'm gonna figure out how to do all that stuff, and then I'm gonna be independent. That's really what winded up happening, and I gotta tell you, I'm one of the happiest guys in the world right now. I gotta thank it to making that decision about figuring out what it is I wanted. Once you get what you want, then you say, okay, now I got this. Now if I do this, it's gonna take me to that. There's an old saying, be careful for what you wish for. You just might get it. On that note, peace out. And tomorrow I'm gonna be talking to you about self-manifestation. Really cool. Thanks for watching. You're on the Momo Zone on YouTube.